For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Camping and Leisure with me, Mike. Today I'm giving you a bit of a tutorial video about how to drive away from a driveway awning. So what I'm going to go through in this video is kind of just general hints and tips and certain things you probably may not know and other things you may know. But hopefully by the end of it you'll have a bit more impression, maybe pick something new up that will certainly help you relocate your vehicle back to your driveway awning with not a problem. So often you'll find yourself obviously away touring or going away for a few evenings. You want something like a driveway awning, ideal, brilliant. Need it to the shops to get some milk. So what we're going to do now is detach this sort of connection piece, roll it back, move the vehicle, guy out the guy ropes to obviously give it support from where the vehicle was supporting it, and then redo it all back in the same location. So first things we'll probably do as well is just kind of slacken off the attachment up here. Which can always be a bit stiff sometimes. Come on, off you go. There you go. That just really gives you a bit more play to go with it, really. So if we just then undo the grind points at the front next to the vehicle, we'll do the back as well. There you go, done that. So this attachment really has got to kind of roll back in position. Otherwise what you'll find is actually it's got to flap in the wind and eventually sort of tear. So what we can do now on this, I've used just a limpet kit just to seal it to the vehicle and make it just almost like a sheltered area to it. Well, if you've got things like winder awnings, probably it's a much easier process because you actually take the slack off the roof, whereas currently all of the weight necessarily is on the vehicle still. So what on this model is I'm just going to remove the figure of 8 clips. So what I can do is give a bit of tension where the roof is, and then that should just slide off like so and detach. So you've got a few of these, 3 in total. And what I would do is kind of work towards one end. So now I've done that, I can sort of push that backwards. So maybe pull the fabric through a little bit, push the figure 8 back, and you can kind of just slowly just ease it off, as you can see. And it's just almost like a little rocking system. But then once you get to the back, you can then take the figure of 8s cleanly off. And what I would do is just store them inside your main part of the awning here. So let's open the door up. There we go. So now we're out. Like I said, the key thing is to roll this material back, otherwise with flapping the wind it's going to rip and do some damage. I personally will start with the middle section, and what you do is roll it underneath that way. Reason being is if you roll it the other way, either on top, you then create a little fabric fold. So if it starts to rain while you're gone, it's going to collect water. Whereas this way, it just kind of beads off as you will. And then you've got toggle points located on all driveway awnings, just to keep the fabric, like I said, as it should be. I'll start with the top, like so, and work your way out. By starting in the middle point, what you do is you stop any sort of too much fabric going to either one side. And again, just helps to make sure you've got too much bulk and have struggle putting the clips in place. Generally, you want it to be kind of quite taut anyway, like I said, to stop it flapping around and doing any damage. So once the roof is all nice and neatly done, we can then do the sides. So normally what you find, because it's obviously like a boxing type, you've got along the top and all down the sides as well. Sides are just as important to keep it nice and taut. If you've got anything like a footprint ground sheet, something in this area, I would remove that as well, because you don't want it, when the vehicle's away, for the water to start pooling just on the ground sheet there, and you come back to essentially something going underneath the awning itself. Nearly done. You can see how important it is when they do loads of it, make sure it's all properly secure. This one, if you haven't guessed, actually what I'm using for the video is a Van Gogh Rome. It was a new model for the 2019 season. It's a polycotton, which is, if anyone knows and loves my videos, I absolutely rave about. So sit the door up. So now we are pretty much ready to drive away. Fundamentally, before you do this, you want to kind of gauge on where the van is. Now the sole reason you've got to do this is, again, you don't want to find yourself come back and you're a foot or two, or either way, too wide, too long, too short. So, and again, to get that roof tight, you need to be near enough in exactly the same position. A few tips I can give you. One thing I would do, if you can, is earmark your tyre. So by earmarking your tyres with some sort of visible pegs as such, so when I say earmark, I mean just put literally a peg at the front and the back of the front tyre, because that will then give you a position. And do the same in the back. This will stop you being kind of too close at one end and too far away at the other. You've got your perfect line position at the front and back, and you also position on where it's going to fit on the vehicle. You don't want to get it down like dead straight, but then find out you're too far forward. So that's a really nice thing. One thing I also have thought of as well is you do often get throwover straps for the attachment if you haven't got like a rail or anything to fix it on with. So what I can suggest is use your strap to your domain. Create yourself a little, almost like guideline, quite literally, from the front towards the back, like when we used to mark out tennis courts and stuff, and that gives you an ideal, almost like dotted arrows on scissors, cutting lines. So that's, I think, is a really great little thing. Another thing, like I said, if you want to remove that, if you had a footprint, for example, a lot of footprints will have one for the main body and a separate one for this attachment area here. So the attachment area, what you can do is, because you can obviously take it away, like I said earlier, and store it away to stop water collecting on it, but put it in. That's the same kind of premise. There's a nice guideline here to sort of work out where you want to. But what I'll do now is I'll drive away. Normally what we do is actually remove the limpet kit or whatever you're using to attach it to. Obviously, as a wind out, there's no need, because really for transit purposes, it's not designed to stay on. So like a magnetic kit as well, same sort of premise. I would take that off, put it inside the awning so it's nice and stored, and then when you come back, you can then reattach it on. But let's move the vehicle, do the gyro points here as well to give you tension where the vehicle wasn't, and then we'll reattach it all again. So let's go for a little ride. I'm not dancing on my own. See you later. So now we've completely moved the vehicle, what we can do is, like I said, peg the gyro points out. So, again, quite handily here, I've got a few pegs stashed. Or what you can, like I said, if need be, reuse the pegs that you were to put underneath the vehicle. But like that just gives you a bit of tension that way. Makes it nice and easier. And then you've got a decent amount of support coming from where the vehicle was. But like I said, now that's fully let to go away. You can go to the shop, get your pint of milk, and be rest assured that your awning is safe and sound on the campsite. But we'll do a little 180, and I'll come round and we'll reconnect it all, and hopefully, touch wood, be in with our little guidelines back in the right position. There we go. Okay, so coming round now, obviously we want to try and get in the right sort of position. So let's just kind of it's a bit harder on your own. It's better having someone obviously who could guide you in as such. But if we get our right kind of idea, let's try that. So what I want to do is just have a quick look on now, just to guide to see if I'm looking in line, if I'm going to be on there. And what I can also do at the same time is remove the gyros as such. Just obviously allow me to come back into it all. but if we come around a bit more, I think we'll be all right. I'll just do another quick check beforehand. How are we looking? How are we looking? We're looking good? We're looking good? Oh, we're looking very good. Love it. That's why having an extra person to guide you in just saves the hassle of getting in and out of the vehicle every time. Now let's carry on that nice straight trend and go just straight in. Doesn't matter if you get a little bit too close to the pegs. Oh, go on then. I'm checking the back tyre now where I am. A little bit further. Bang, we're there. Right, make sure I'm happy for where everything is. Yeah, now we're talking. That's looked good. Right, turn the engine off and let's reattach. Let's reattach. So, obviously gyros out of the way, let's get our figure of eights out and unbuckle all this. Let's get the fabric all open and loose again. Bum, 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 bum. So, like I said, that just takes a person just to kind of give you the guide, but you know it's sort of instantaneously whether you're in the right area or not. One thing I'll do when you're starting to reattach it, like I said, it's easy if you've got a one, you can just roll it back a little bit. Alternatively, like I said, we use the figure of eight clip. It just means that you've got to be sort of even more sort of spot on with your measurements. But a good way of telling is tension it up. I'll tell you what, that doesn't look too bad. I think we're winning here. It's almost like I've done it before. Right, so we'll feed it on our little channel first. One thing you have to do is keep the tension there as you reapply it. So let's bring that forward. Put the front one on. Look at that. Oh yes. Right, let's go to the next. I was going to do one from the front first point, just to make sure you're right in position, and then we'll do the back as well. So just feed them on. What I would do is probably feed, you've got, well, on this particular fix, you've got 3 in total. So I'll just feed both on from the back. It's just always personally find it a little bit easier to move forward and then to move back. And we are on. We are in there like swimwear. Perfect. And you see, actually, to be fair, that roof is still quite nice and taut, which is exactly what we're looking for. So now it's all a case of just really re-pegging the bottom part. Personally, I'd say remove the pegs, remove that out of the way, as well as the little strap as our guideline, because it's done its job really. I suppose if you are going to shops and you want to leave the stuff there, why not? You know, it just perfectly pinpoints where you need to be. So let's reposition that at a slight angle. Perfect. There we go. So once I've done the base, just going to take our slack up again, just to I can get that door looking a bit sharper. Oh, lost that one. It's really good. Nice bit of tension. Springs itself off. And get that door in point. So here we go. I think that's a bit of a success if you ask me. Like I say, you can quite clearly see doorway's nice and clear and you've still got a good tension out throughout the attachment itself. And yet again, you know, you can still, if you want to drive away, like leave your pegs in point and you're good to go. But that kind of shows you really a few little hints and tips, but the whole process as well of actually how to physically drive away from a driveway awning and then reattach on. But let us know what you think of the video below in the comments. Just comment, or alternatively you can always go to our YouTube channel and our website, more importantly, to find more sort of helpful tips on camping, caravanning, and just also motorhoming as well. So, but let us know what you think. This is Attwoolls Camping and Leisure, giving you the most based advice.